The Christian grift must be destroyed. That is on this week's project of the dastardly defeat of Christianity from the Islamic perspective. Shout out to Cora, who posted this video. The grifting must stop, must watch, so we gotta watch it. And all jokes aside, I don't know, I was looking on her channel, and after that one short that I saw, I was like, okay, she got interesting individuals in the title, and it's got a lot, it's inspiring philosophies there, and I believe David Wood's in the title. I was like, okay, yeah, now I got to see this. This thumbnail's interesting.
It seems for the past couple of years in the Christian apologetic scene, we've seen a pattern of apologists repeatedly using their platforms to gain money over and over.
This is bad. These apologists are gaining money. This is terrible. Over and over again.
Over and over again, we see this pattern. From people like Inspiring Philosophy to Apostate Prophet to Giant Doc. And it's so upsetting to see because these people don't even follow their own religions anymore. It's no longer about calling people to Christ and to be...
It's all about the grift. It's all about the grift. The grift must continue.
Quite frank, it was never about that. It was never about calling people to the worship of Jesus Christ. It was about the awkward and terrible attempt to pull people away from Islam, which in fact they've been doing the exact opposite. Islam is growing at such fast rates, it's astonishing. To the point...
Wow. So they've been failing. Their attempts has been about just disrespecting Muhammad and bringing people away from Islam, and they failed. That's interesting.
Where Christians are literally saying that Islam is becoming a threat and that we need to bring these people to Jesus Christ.
Becoming?
Let us cover a few examples because we have a couple of GoFundMes to go through.
Islam is becoming a threat? Before we get into those examples, last I checked, you know that one little violent moment, well, it's not little, but that one violent moment in history that people point to when they want to capture Christian violence, it goes by the title of the Crusades. You know what they won't tell you? What Christians, what was the reason you felt that instead of the thoughts and prayers, the sword was the only approach? Well, you're looking at it right here. No, not a woman, not an Arabic woman in covering her face. No, we're talking about a time when Islam was actually conquering the world as their book commanded them, because their follower, I'm about to say their father. Well, there's a verse that Jesus talks about, like whose people's fathers are, but we're not talking about that verse. Anyways, their founder famously had a very unique style of persuading minds, and it was through conquest. And so naturally, when Christians got wind of individuals looking at our land and saying, we are the captain now, naturally we said, you are not the captain anywhere, and we're gonna go fight you about it. And so yeah, that the little crash course on the introduction of the Crusades. Either way, examples, Cora, what examples you got for us?
Now, at the end of the day, if somebody wants to open a GoFundMe, by all means, you have the free will to do so. But
you have the free will to open your GoFundMe, which means your will, which is free in her eyes, is the one that controls that GoFundMe. What's the problem?
Let us not essentially turn a blind eye to the true intentions of these people. Let's
the true intentions.
One of the, I guess you can say, older examples.
I can't stand people who talk about intentions, because I'm like, last I checked, that was one of God's unique abilities that only he can see when it comes to the intentions. He tells us judge them by their works. You don't, like, the only people who can see intentions, that's the thoughts, the hearts, right? The only people who can do that is him. And yet people just say that so casual, like, we know your intentions. Well, his intention. I look at people like that and I think they're kind of crazy, I'll be honest, because I'm like, that's what God famously only can do, because no man can see the heart except him.
David and Marie Wood raising $120,000 to quote-unquote move to safety. Now,
you know what? That might not actually be enough when you think about it, but let's see where she's going with this.
In the nicest way possible, let's put it like this. Not only are these individuals grifting, but the sad part is people like David Wood put themselves in positions to...
They put themselves in positions. But what type of position he be putting himself in?
Essentially put their families in danger, right? Now, there is a fine line between being an apologist and somebody who engages in polemics, and being a blasphemer who purposefully provokes Muslims and then somehow gets upset when Muslims get riled up. Now, I will.
So they're not peaceful. So wait. I thought the grift was just to get the money and attack Islam. But apparently the grift is justified, because if you criticize Islam and quote unquote blaspheme, which for those who don't know what blaspheme is, where you say not nice things about a god. So if I say, Zeus is lame and goofy, that's blasphemy. That's a form of blasphemy. But nevertheless, so apparently there. That's interesting. That, like, I'm trying to figure out what, like, the logic behind this. So wait, he puts himself in danger by blaspheming Islam, and because he blasphemes, Muslims are violent. So therefore the grift is justified because violent Muslims are wanting to harm him because he blasphemes. It sounds like she doesn't agree with a person's free will then, because I'm about to say, like, wait a minute, like, if you have the free will to make a GoFundMe, then what's the problem? Like, what's going on here, Corey? Like, not making sense anymore.
Will never justify a Muslim giving somebody like this death threats and things of that nature. I will never justify those types of threats, not in this world or another one. However, when you make decisions like this and then you open up a
You can't make this up. She couldn't even say those words without saying however. I will never. However.
GoFundMe, and you collect over $100,000 off of your followers who probably make less money than you. To me, that is nothing but grifting. Then we have examples like
that's grifting, but you just I don't know if it's a grift. I don't think she understands what a grift is, because I mean, if his life's genuinely in danger, which you acknowledge, then it's not a grift. It's actually genuinely, hey, send me some funds because these guys are trying to come kill me. And that if they're actually genuinely trying to come kill him, that's not a grift anymore. That's actually legitimate life-saving money right there, which may not be enough in this economy when you really think about it. The housing crisis is let's just say that 100K, that might be enough to get you in maybe one of these lower neighborhoods. Like, listen, go look up how much a house costs and come back and see that 1,000 and 100,000 and see how much that it can actually afford you.
State prophet who collected over $100,000 off of his fan.
Let's see. I need all the help I can get to have equipment and different setup and safety and security for those I love. I've seen apostate prophet, and he does a very crucial just critique of Islam. I think he's one of those people who grew up around Islamic culture, and so he seems the most qualified from his own history to talk about it and quote verses and talk about how bad behavior is, how bad Islamic behavior is concerning their faith. And yeah, so if they're trying to harm our boy, yeah, like, he should have the right to speak out against Islam and not have the threat of his life. But let's see what she says about this.
To quote unquote have equipment, a different setup, safety, and security for those I love.
Yeah,
it sounds like it's the same pattern over and over again. Safety, and also equipment and setups and things of that nature. $100,000. Some people don't even see half of that in a year, and you are collecting that off of your followers, who again probably make less money than you. To me,
they follow him for a reason. We want more videos. We want more videos by apostate prophet, criticizing Islam. We want more videos by David Wood calling out Islamic behavior when it's terrible. And I think 100K seems reasonable. Dare I say a little bit under, because again, go look up how much a house costs in your local area, and you'll find out quickly that money can get eat up quickly. Just to get you in the house, let alone pay for it.
This just seems like a pattern of the rich becoming richer and the poor becoming poorer, and boy, is that a sad, sad cycle. And last, most recently, and surely not least, we have the father of grift himself, we have inspiring philosophy. Now, this is an interesting one because he made such a grave mistake. Such a grave.
Side note, for those who don't know who inspiring philosophy is, I forget the godfather of fiction. That's the godfather of just being, you know, very civilized in debates. I tell you this much: when it comes to, if you want a video going into books, into history, into contextualizing the Bible in a Christian way, not a unfair to Christianity way, which I do think that some people think that these deconstructionists on TikTok are actually yapping at something, but they're yapping at nothing. Trust me. When it comes to Christianity, there was always a pure interpretation of how these verses were being understood, and I think that he definitely fits somewhere in the middle of all that discussion as a I think a modern day theologian. I do genuinely think so, and so it does pain me to see. Okay, we started out someone like a David Wood, who is a bit more aggressive in his strategy. Then we shifted to Apostate Prophet, who I think kind of plays with their religion a little bit in the sense of making his critiques very valid but also light and jokey. And now we have Inspiring Philosophy, somebody who is very respectful in the sense of just not behaving himself like as sort of like halfway comedian, bringing his personality. No, he's very just strict when it comes to just critiquing what they say and keeping it focused on just debunking nonsense. And yet apparently his life is at danger. These are like three different styles of content creators, and it seems no matter how you criticize this religion, your life will eventually be at danger. If I get big enough, they might threaten my life someday. You might have me coming on here and they might call me a grifter because suddenly they done doxed me. They done put my information online. They want to come to my house and, you know, less words, more we put you to death or some nonsense. Listen, this is a diabolical religion. This is not a great advertisement of your religion being peaceful, Cora.
Mistake. Now, he uploaded a YouTube video where he said that his safety is being threatened, utilizing clips that are over 6 months old, from what I've understood, from what I've heard.
So within the last year?
Media platforms and things of that nature. Clips that are over 6 months old. So it's interesting that this is coming up now.
So within the last year?
That were happening 6 months ago, you know.
Yeah, within the last year.
He then says, I now have a GoFundMe and I'm trying to move out of my house for safety purposes. To which he says, our goal is to raise $100,000. That goal is to cover only the massive added cost created by the security move. That's stage one. The goal.
Of course. I mean, literally, like this man, it's kind of crazy that he actually needs security, to securely move unnoticed from these people literally finding out where he lives again, because these people are weird. And notice how she doesn't condemn any of the things that Muslims do, in the sense of, oh, they should not do this because this is against Islam, which famously she can't, because well, I mean, there's a few Quranic verses that says, you know, fight disbelievers, and that's obviously someone saying don't fight disbelievers will obviously get her in massive trouble with her audience. But I digress. Let's keep moving.
Goal was 100,000, and so far so good. Doesn't look too suspicious, right? Then the moment the goal.
But you just criticize other people for having $100,000. That is suspicious. You already said it's suspicious.
Essentially reaches over 70%. He has $87,000 raised. He changes the goal to 120,000.
Keep donating. Yeah.
100K. Okay. You know what? The Christians are gonna keep donating.
Yeah, we support those who genuinely are honest in their approach, and naturally, you can't get no more honest than good old Michael Jones. That fantastic smile he has.
It reaches 107,000, so he passes the 100,000 threshold. Then he changes it to.
Is that literally all her critique?
50,000, and then he passes that. He gets to 156,000, and he changes it to 180.
Is that it, Cora?
He reaches 195,000, to which he changes it to 200. This absolute grifter collected over $195,000 and counting from his fans. And listen, people can overgive on GoFundMe. Let's say he allowed for the goal to remain $100,000 and people just decided to keep giving.
This is sad.
Okay, put your hands up. It is what it is. People are choosing to give to this individual, but no, that's not what happened. What happened is that this man actively changed the goal more and more and more, added $100,000 to the goal. If that is not textbook grifting, I do not know what is.
Yeah, and so we're just gonna stop right there. If you want to watch the rest of the video, watch it. Links in the description, as I always do with all the content. So what do I think about these grifters? Well, I think they're just obeying what the Lord said. First things first, I think Jesus made a very important, crucial like decision when discerning, when teaching about how much this faith will cost you. And to become a disciple means you have to go all the way regardless. And sometimes you actually have to utilize well, like your resources well. I mean, Christians have done so for thousands of years. You know, when the Crusades started, I think that was a beautiful moment for the Catholic Church and the Orthodox Church to come together and say, hey, let us gather our resources and fight together as one. And shout out to them in that first battle. They certainly defeated them, but naturally, let's just say it didn't work out too well. Violence never does. Either way, back to this. And so the idea of a Christian gathering resources from their community, that's literally textbook tithes and offerings, like literally supporting those who do the work of ministry. But regardless of that, in Luke chapter 14, verses 28-32, it says, "For which of you desiring to build a tower does not first sit down and count the cost, whether he has enough to complete it?" You don't get to decide how much money or how little somebody should earn for their resources. It's decided by those who want to support them. Because naturally, if it's not enough, there could be a problem. Verse 29, "Otherwise, when he has laid the foundation and is not able to finish, all who will see it will mock him, saying, 'This man began to build and was not able to finish.'" So today you say he's grifting too much, but if he's not able to move with the resources that they have, which again, 100K, I mean, for a house, that's not enough. Like we just had a whole election on that, so that's obviously not enough. And especially considering the importance of how much it costs for their setup and moving where and when, I think that's also a frightening experience. I mean, she's already justified the idea that Islam will attack you if you criticize it harshly and disrespect it, like the religion. So the belief system, just the ideas that it espouses, if you don't hold them with absolute reverence, you can and will be attacked. She's confirmed that. And naturally, that means there's a real cost in being against this religion, which means you have to count the cost. Like, notice she didn't say this is the only time this will happen. No, you have to think about the future, because these guys are not going to stop criticizing this very controversial religion, and this very controversial religion is not interested in telling its followers not to be violent. And so naturally, of course, the money, like they'll keep the GoFundMe's open because they want to collect as much resources as possible, just in case they need to move again and again and again. How much time will they attack these individuals? The answer is never. They'll never stop. So what else does it say? Verse 30, saying, "This man began to build and was not able to finish, or what king going out to encounter another king in war will not sit down first and deliberate whether he is able with the 10,000 to meet him who is against him with 20,000? And if not, while the other is yet a great way off, he sends a delegation, asks for terms of peace." It's very clear that we have to be able to negotiate both sides. If you don't have enough, like see who's willing to support you. And naturally, because you want to finish the mission. The mission for them is to defeat this religion that wants to consistently talk against Christianity and sway others away from it. And so naturally, they're going to keep fighting. Now then, another thing I think is very interesting in Luke chapter 22, verses 35-37, it says, "And he said to them, when I sent you out with no money bag or no knapsack," basically something to, carry your stuff in, "or sandals, did you lack anything?" They said nothing. So this is Jesus talking to them concerning the first time he sent them out. God will provide for them this time, or that time. What does he say this time? Verse 36, he says to them, "But now let the one who has a money bag take it, and likewise a knapsack, and let the one who has no sword sell his cloak and buy one. And I will tell you that this scripture must be fulfilled in me. And he was remembered with the transgressors, for it was written about me as its fulfillment." What is Jesus trying to say here? We need to defend ourselves. If we're gonna be bold and out there in the world, we're gonna be attacked, and we're gonna be prepared for that. And so shout out to all those grifters for recognizing that, I set a goal here, but I gotta think about this in the long term, because to finish the mission, I gotta be committed. And today they're doxing me, so I gotta move houses. Tomorrow they might actually try to fight me, so I gotta invest in security. It's tragic, but hey, Islam says is a religion of peace, but it's not willing to defend that label. So I say, hey, thanks for proving it. Appreciate you. And so that's what this video pretty much was about. Just thanking Cora for once again proving that Islam is not a religion of peace. You can't have peace with somebody who says, hey, if I don't get my way, there will be no peace. And so naturally prepare, if you're going to get into apologetics, prepare yourself, because let's just say some of your worst enemies will actually physically harm you. But other than that, that's just about it. A bit of a longer one than I was expecting, but nevertheless, let me know what you guys think in the comments. Do you think I hit the nail on the head when it comes to, oh yeah, this is not a grift, this is very real, or do you think, nah, that's a grift, they're just getting money, they're just stealing from the poor? Either way, appreciate you for watching this far, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.